Alright guys, this is a quiz review for your finite differences quiz. So these are the few things that you're going to have to know for tomorrow. You're going to have to know how to take a table, just a regular old table, and turn it into an equation. And we do that by finding our rate of change. So if you remember...
If you're still in the building, could you please come to the front office? Again, that's Jordan Samuels. If you're in the building, could you please come to the front office? Thank you.
Anyways, yeah, so find your delta y, delta x. So rate of change, that thing we took notes of today. Are you serious? Okay, there's a bell after school apparently, even though we're not in class. So rate of change is the same thing as delta y over delta x. So I'm going to find my delta y values. To get from 0.5 to 1, it's plus 0.5, plus 0.5, and plus 0.5. Delta x is change in x. So this is plus 1, and plus 1. To find your rate of change, you have to take your delta y, put it over your delta x, and reduce it. So in this case, it's 0.5 divided by 1, which is just 0.5. This number that we just found by doing delta y over delta x is your coefficient in your equation. So y equals 0.5 times whatever my x is. My coefficient's what's in front of my x. Then you need to check and see if you need a constant by plugging back in. If I plug 1 back into x, I'm going to get 0.5 times 1, which is 0.5. I'm good to go. The only other thing you're going to need to know is that this could also be written as x divided by 2, right? Because really this is 1/2 times x. Also need to know how to do a rule to a sequence. If I just give you a rule, you need to find the sequence. Remember that a rule and an equation, that's the only difference. So, I mentioned this today, use the calculator because a sequence is the exact same thing as your y values. So, sequence is your y values, take this, plug it into y equals. Y equals is 3x plus 5. Perfect, check my table. If sequence is the same thing as my y values, I'm going to pull some numbers off my y values. 8, 11, 14, 17, 20, that's good enough sequence for me. That's all you have to do. The last thing that you're going to have to know for tomorrow is to take take a situation and turn it into an equation and really understand what's going on here. So in this situation that I wrote, Sally is making $300 per month plus $5 per milkshake that she sells at some restaurant or whatever. If I were just to give you this, you would really not know if the 300 is my coefficient or the 5 is my coefficient because it's $300 per month or $5 per milkshake. They didn't tell me if my X is my month or my X is my milkshake. But if I were to give you this, that tells you in my X column, it's labeled as number of milkshakes. So that means my X value is how many milkshakes I buy, or that she sells, I'm sorry. So if she makes $5 for every milkshake, my 5 is what I'm multiplying by my x values. If you put 300 in this situation as your coefficient, you're saying she makes $300 per milkshake, and that's not true. That $300 is a one-time thing. She makes that every month, and this is added on after. So $305 for this one, plus another 300. This would be 310. This girl makes a lot of money for selling milkshakes. So be very careful on what they give you. Just the situation alone is not really going to help you. If they tell you my X's are my number of milkshakes, I know $5 is multiplied by my number of milkshakes. Go study your packet from today, and you guys will be awesome.